On Halloween at US Bank Stadium this year, the trick-or-treaters were dressed as boys and girls soccer players, but they weren't looking for candy. Instead, 3 boys teams and 3 girls teams were looking for state championships. In the girls 3A final, Wayzata jumped out to an early 2-0 lead. Things looked bleak for the Ponies, but an Elena Muth's goal kept Stillwater in the game and reminded them of times they've been down before.
5 years ago, we were in the same spot. We were down to Edina 2-0 at half. And, we battled back, and we just said, hey, you know what, this can be done. And we watched that tape probably 4 times this postseason, saying, hey, this is what it's like. This is what you have to do to battle back. So we kind of said, hey, look back at that video again. Look back at what we did 5 years ago, and let's do the same thing.
Muth scored again in the second half to tie the game. Then with 14 minutes left, Stillwater's Ms. Soccer finalist had her shining moment.
I don't really remember how I got the ball or who passed it to me, but I got it, and I usually aim for rounding the corner, going around the right side and looking for a cross. And I went, and the girls followed me, and I just saw the shot, and I hit it. And I don't really know how it went in, but I hit it and must have landed on my shooting foot.
And she's our leading scorer. Has had some great goals. We kind of told her, hey, shoot, 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 and things are going to happen. So, obviously she had a great shot to win it for us.
This year I was like, all right, let's go. And there's 17 seniors on this team, and we're all so close friends. So, we're going to remember this forever.
Stillwater defeats Wayzata for the 2025 Girls 3A State Soccer Championship 3-2, the 4th state title for the Ponies. There was a lot of breath-holding in the boys' 3A final. Scoreless in the first half, the championship came down to who made adjustments in the second half and who was able to remember how they got to the championship in the first place.
Stay with what we do. Let's get the ball back to our feet a little bit. We needed to fight to get the ball down to the feet so we could play a little bit.
Hayden Smith's goal with 29 minutes remaining was all the Hornets needed.
Reed coming from the side, it was a bit of a long throw, kind of went over my head, bounced, and then their defender kind of came across and hit it kind of wrong, and then I was just there and I hit it in.
And Hayden he was in the right place at the right time. Ball fell to him, and he had composure and poise, and he just slotted it in the side webbing. It was great.
Great goalkeeping by Griffin Zazel kept Maple Grove off the board and helped Edina to their 5th boys soccer championship.
It means everything. I mean, we've been working every morning, every day after school, just for this moment here, so it means the world.
The 2A girls final also featured stellar goalkeeping by Matamidai's Harlow Berger, who blanked Blake through most of the match.
Honestly, I was just prepared going into it. I was really excited because obviously we won last year, so going into it this year, I wanted to come out with the win, and especially with it being my senior season, I had to get it.
This was the second longest game of my life. It's close, but each one's different, and the kids are different. It's each one's special.
Elise Aflakpi finally broke through for a goal with 15 minutes left in regulation.
I just knew I needed to get a shot off. It was kind of like a toe ball, but if it works, it works.
It looked like to us it was a goal, but it was, we'll have to see it on NSPN and see where, how it went across the line and bounced around. It was one of those 2 posters and rung around, and it was a beautiful shot. Just a bold shot by Elise, and that's what she does. She just has a knack to take those. You don't coach that kind of stuff. That's just creativity.
Berger then shook off an injury to keep Matamidai at the top of the heap with a 1-0 win over Blake.
I hurt a lot, but I'll be okay.
The Zephyrs repeat as champions and get the 12th title in school history. Blake also played for the 2A boys championship. The combination of Oliver Brown and Landon Bell gave the Bears bookend goals to take and keep a lead.
Our lead guy, one of our lead guys, Landon Bell, we kind of just work off each other, and we have been throughout the year. So I knew he'd be there to give me a pass that would get me in front of goal. So it's really all a blur. Looking back at both goals, it doesn't even feel real that we just won this. But yeah, he just played me a great ball, and I just, even though I'm not left-footed, I've managed to put away a couple of my left this year, and so I managed to do that in the first half. And in the second half, again, Landon Bell assisted me. It was a beautiful, I thought he was going to shoot it, but he was super composed. He backheeled it to me, and to be honest, it was a pretty easy shot. I could just put it anywhere in 6-foot radius and put it in the back of the net. It would have been a goal.
Blake was able to keep the underdog Cougars off the board and off their game.
No one can take away from these guys. Having won it in 2018 and lost it in 2019, the feeling of winning is obviously greater than losing it. So means a lot.
It's the best group of guys I've ever worked with on any team, club or high school, so it means the absolute world to me. And I suppose I didn't quite realize how much it meant until that final whistle blew a couple minutes ago, and I just broke down crying. I mean, I love this game, and it's just the greatest accolade you can win at this age, in my opinion. So it's incredible.
Blake earns their third state title in boys soccer, shutting out St. Paul Como Park 3-0. The Class A girls match could have gone either way. Watertown Mayor received a goal from Ainsley Blair to take a lead with just 2.5 minutes gone in the first half. However, Providence Academy was the defending champion, so they didn't panic.
They scored early enough where it was like, okay, there's still a lot of game left. Like, there's plenty of time. We don't need to panic. I know what we're capable of. I know we can break down defenses really easily. So it was more like almost lighting a fire, kind of like, okay, let's go. Like, I know we can do this. We got a whole game, so let's play our game and show them.
The rest of the match had fans keeping their eyes on 2025 Ms. Soccer winner Madden Greenway and her sister Beckett, who paired for a pair of important goals.
Beckett and I honestly just have like a crazy connection, but like on the field, on the court, like anywhere that we play together, like I don't know like what it is. We haven't really practiced it. It's just we know where each other is going to be. But I think the first one we were breaking down the defense like every time we got the ball, and then it just finally snuck one through. And then, I mean, the second half we completely owned it in my opinion. I think especially at the beginning, and for us it was huge. First 5 minutes is always like what we preach. So it wasn't in the first 5 minutes, but we knew if we broke them down, it would eventually happen. I don't know. I think for me it was just really enjoying this like last season. Obviously, I'll have basketball for like the rest of my life basically after like this fall. So I try to really take it and just have like a mental breakaway from it because I do put a lot of stress on myself in basketball. So just enjoying it and having as much fun as I can, and I think we did that. So.
Providence Academy repeats as the Class A girls champion with a 2-1 win over Watertown Mayor. The Class A boys final also treated fans to early scoring. Holy Angels attacker James Parrish found the back of the net just 90 seconds into the contest.
Yeah, we wanted to get up early. We knew it would give the team a confidence boost. We practiced that throw-in play this morning, this afternoon, and earlier in practice, and it was a great morale boost, and it led us going forward for those more goals.
It wasn't just the stars that shone brightly for Holy Angels. This championship was a team effort.
Just a reaction play. Aaron isn't a player who usually gets a spotlight, and he had his moment today, and it was well-deserved. A great shot, great setup play, 1-2, and he slotted it home.
A stage like this is really, I think, indicative of a program's depth, where, like James mentioned, players can step up that don't typically score. So Aaron grabbing a goal today, Leo's goal in the second half, what a rocket. But at the end of the day, that was his second goal of the year, and he has pretty much played every single minute this year in the midfield. So, you know, some kids can save it up. Obviously, Chris Romero, who is really only, gathered 7 or 8 goals this year, but he coming back from an injury and scoring 2 just the other night to get us here, out of nowhere, right? So when you can start scoring by committee, you can start doing different things.
Holy Angels repeats as Class A state champions with a 4-2 win over St. Cloud Cathedral. At US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Justin Barrientos, NSPN.TV.